My ex-husband told me no one is going to get married to a sterile woman. But 15 years after that, he met my kids, and he saw that I was never the problem. 15 years ago, I divorced my husband when I discovered he was having an affair with his childhood sweetheart. They even had a son together and everything. I was hounded by his mistress, so I resigned. I was completely broken. But when things seemed darkest, my later husband came into my life, and I was able to begin working up the strength to make my life whole again. We built a cozy, peaceful home together, but the peace didn't last. I encountered my ex-husband in person for the first time in 15 years. "You're still single, huh? Who will marry you? A barren woman." He sneered with a smug smile. "You still don't know how to be nice, do you?" I replied calmly. "My son is adorable. He gets it from his mother." He smirked, clearly proud. "Look at my kid. He's a good-looking kid, too," he said, still towering over me. "Oh, really?" "The pet," I added with a serene smile. "And speaking of which, let you to my kids, too." When I entered with my son, my husband could see nothing, but he froze, trembling visibly. "My name is Caroline Jones. I'm 38, and I'm a social worker and marriage and family therapist, and I live with my daughter Emma, 11, my son Liam, 13, and my husband Ethan, also 38. Liam, in his 9th grade year here at the middle school, is also going through his bad boy rebellion stage. He's being a little rascal and is super busy nowadays. Then, when he goes over that line, my husband Ethan steps in and facilitates how to get him back home. Then there's Emma, who likes makeup and fashion. The youngest, and the only girl, she gets what she wants. Liam adores his baby sister, but he panics if she playfully feigns that she won't love him anymore. "You better be nice to Mom, or I'm not going to like you anymore, big brother." He catches himself at once. Sorry. "Okay, look, I'll be nice to Mom, okay? He's the adorable and the easy one to grasp and always the bringer of life to our home. Yes, our lives are full of a kind of happiness. But even those people don't know the full story, as in I'm a divorcee, married to a different person. I divorced my first husband after he committed a deep betrayal. 15 years ago, I was married to a man I'll call Michael. He was an upperclassman of mine in college. We had so many friends in common and both received such an overwhelming level of support and love from everyone in our lives. First, it was all good. We talked about kids a lot. I really want a baby soon. Not all wear the same clothes. It was something we both were so looking forward to doing, having a family. But as they say, life doesn't always go according to plan. After a year of trying, we were still not pregnant. And every time I got my period, a tension would grow between us. None of us felt right about that. So we had many serious conversations, and we spent a lot of money on why we couldn't have children treatments. All of the tests had come back normal. Their infertility had no explained medical cause, but it didn't save our marriage. In the beginning, Michael was great and all for giving it a go. But with the months of being without a baby turning into years, he became more and more distant. He had lost patience, and he was a bit different towards me. "When am I ever going to be a father?" One day he shouted, kicking the words as a jibe. He was brutal, accusing her. He was making it clear through clear insinuation that he thought I was the one we had so far not managed to replicate, and then things got out of hand. He stopped doing any housework, no cooking, dishes, laundry, or cleaning. "And why are you not doing housework all of a sudden?" "You used to do it before," he snarled, "because you, sweetheart, are infertile. If you're not cleaning up around the house, why are we even married? You aren't doing what you should be doing as a woman." His words cut like knives. They kept getting worse. "My sister and her husband are already trying for a second baby. Isn't that great? They're having their second and we haven't even had our first." He gave me mean looks one after another. "If you had a normal body, I would have been a father by now." "How can you tell me I'm not normal? And we don't even know what's causing it yet," I snapped back. But he dismissed me coldly. It's always the woman's fault if a couple can't have kids. Didn't you know that? If I'd known you were sterile, I'd never have married you. You should feel guilty. The words slid into me like thorns, and the pressure didn't even all come from him. His family joined in too. My in-laws started calling me, "When are we going to meet a grandson?" It didn't feel real to me at first. It's been only a year. Babies are a blessing and it takes time. But it seemed to fuel only their disgust. His mother became particularly vicious. "You are nobody," she said to me. "Your sister-in-law delivered us a grandchild like she was having lunch. You're the only screwy one." Her words made me feel encumbered, like I didn't belong. The pressure was like a boulder pressing on my chest 24 hours a day. Fast forward a few months of this heartbreak, and one day my best friend Isabella invited me out for drinks. It had been months since I had time to myself. Michael was working later and later, or at least that's what he told me. Late nights, weekends in the office, business dinners, he was never at home. That night at a bar, Isabella's face turned serious. "Caroline, I've missed you. I need to tell you something so important." "Of course. What's on your mind?" I asked. "Do you remember Leah?" she began. Leah, yes. Michael's childhood friend. Their families were friends, and they had known each other forever. Leah and I were at the same college, but we'd never been close. She worked at the same company as Isabella, but in a different department. We'd met once, and that was when Michael played introducer. "Here is my girlfriend, so please be nice." Leah gave me a look that day. It went through me, like I was robbing her blind of something. She was elegant, she was beautiful, and she was one of those women who stole hearts without even trying. She had made an appearance in beauty pageants as a college student. As the daughter of the CEO, she was quasi-famous in her company. "Yeah, I know Leah. We actually work in the same company, but we've barely said anything to each other," I told her cautiously. "Why do you bring her up?" Isabella took a deep breath. "I think your husband is cheating on her." My heart stopped. "What?" "I saw them together. They walked finger in finger. This was not friendly, Caroline. It was as if it were a date." I felt sick. I had been so leery of something, and when I heard it confirmed, it nearly broke me. The late hours, the weekends, working, the coolness, it all made sense now. I was trying to pretend I didn't notice, trying to convince myself I was up in arms for nothing. The first thing I did the next morning was phone a detective agency. I craved the truth, the cold, hard facts. And within a week, I had it. Pictures, where you were, receipts. They had been together. He had been cheating. But I couldn't quite get myself to start divorce proceedings right away. As cruel as he was, I had at some point promised to spend the rest of my life with him. I wasn't ready to end it. Not yet. A few days later, I came home to a surprise. Michael was, for once, in the dining room before his time. "Oh, you're home," I said. "Yeah, I need to speak to you," he said, barely looking at me as he walked past. I braced myself. "I want a divorce." His words hit like a truck. "So that's how it is?" I asked. He didn't flinch. "Leah is pregnant. I'm going to marry her." My knees nearly buckled. "You said she was a friend. All along you were having another affair?" "Do not call it an affair," he laughed. "That just makes it sound like I'm the bad guy." "You are a bad guy," I snarled. "She can get pregnant. She's beautiful." "Now why would I do that to break up with you?" he said, shameless and smug. "Well, my mom's been telling me to divorce you. She's prettier than me, nurturing. She can give me a child, she says." I gasp. Real talk, she was always more into Leah. Tears burned my eyes. Unbelievable. "Well, I've packed my things. I've got to get back to Leah and the baby," he said, grinning as he walked out of the door. Soon after, I was served with divorce papers, along with a handwritten note from Leah that read, Please divorce my husband soon. My blood boiled. Your husband. You stole him. But I didn't sit and cry. I collected evidence of the detective and applied to the court for divorce mediation. A few days later, my phone went off. An unknown number, I said, and a woman's hoarse, angry squawk tumbled onto the floor. What do you think you're doing? Why did you file a lawsuit? It was Leah. I stayed calm. Isn't it obvious? You were the other woman in a marriage. I deserve to get paid for it. Compensation? I'm pregnant. I need money for the baby. You're being so cruel. Cruel? You are the one who ruined a marriage, I said with icy indignation. It's you who's barren, you vile woman. She screamed. I put the phone down and sat back, waiting for the mediation. The proof was enough to bat aside any excuses Michael and Leah tried to make in court. The judge, when giving his judgment in his absolute discretion, described their relationship as adulterous. And my lack of fertility is also Michael's fault. Or rather, when we were in court, he was asked to provide evidence of a medical diagnosis after a year of trying to conceive, and he couldn't. The alimony that Michael must pay is set at $20,000. The more active Leah was ordered to pay, $110,000. I settled and completely removed myself from them. But even well after the legal resolution, the emotional cost lingered. Because Michael, Leah, and I all attended the same college, the scandal was ubiquitous. Rumors as well that I had conned Michael into marriage, that I'd just flat out hidden my infertility. There were some that even took Leah's side, claiming that she was the victim. At the office, Leah cried and lied. For Caroline to have the nerve to say she's asking for money now that I'm having a baby, she was never infertile. She was everyone's heartthrob, the president's daughter. Don't make trouble for Leah, my bosses say. I was excluded from crucial projects and sidelined. In the end, I had to give it up. Fortunately, I was poached by another company. We need someone like you, somebody who works hard, the team told him. It had been so long since someone appreciated me. I thrived at that new job. It was warm and supportive. There was no patronage, no nepotism. Ethan, my boss, saw what I was doing. He saw me, not just as an employee, but as a person. He had been a rock for me during the low point of my life. We spent time together, we conversed, and we giggled. Slowly, feelings blossomed. One night after dinner, he locked eyes with me and proposed to me. I was overwhelmed. I told him everything, about my past, my fears, and the infertility I didn't yet know I did or didn't have. Ethan took my hands and whispered, "Oh my gosh, I'd love to have kids with you, but also because I love you. Caroline, you are my world. It doesn't matter if we never have kids, I'll still be here with you." Then he wrapped me in a warm embrace, and for the first time in years, I felt safe, loved, whole. "Mommy, you're late." "Ah, Mom, you have kids?" I smiled and replied, "Yes, I do." "Let me introduce them. This is my son Liam and my daughter Emma." Michael stared. These had been the children of the woman he'd thought was barren. Leah stared intently at Liam, and in a low, rasping voice she sneered, "You mean that uniform?" "He came straight from school with my husband." "So he's in his uniform still," I said. "No, not that. I mean that uniform," she repeated with a narrowed eye. "It's the one from that famous private middle school, right?" "Oh, yes. Liam was a hard-working student, and he said he would like to try, so we put him in for the entrance test. He jumped in and has been running since this year. My son was very good in his studies and is now studying in one of the best schools in the town." "No way. That is not your son. Of all people." "My daughter, too," I added. "She's supposed to be taking that test again next year." "Yeah, and Liam is amazing. He just won a violin competition," Emma said proudly. "Violin?" Leah blinked. "Wait, I think I've seen him on TV lately. Ah, you saw that? I smiled. Yes, he's been getting a little more media attention of late. He was returning from violin practice today. No, this can't be. Michael and Leah looked at them in shock. You were supposed to be sterile. How do you have a child like this? Michael finally stammered. I smiled faintly and went smooth on them. You guys look happy, and I'm happy for you. Clearly, I'm happy too. So please, let's stay out of each other's stuff. We're not even related anymore. It was at that moment that my husband, Ethan, came over to our circle of friends. Hey, what's going on? The show's about to begin, he said, feeling oddly amused by how tense the room had grown. Michael's face lost color on the arrival of Ethan. Leah also went white. Wait, by any chance is your husband that young Mr. Lopez? The one who became president of the residence last year? Yes, I said. Method is the parent company of Leah's father's company, and Ethan is its present president. I was transitioning jobs and I signed with that company, and I met Ethan there. He was already a popular and talented player. He was elevated to company president last year at the recommendation of the previous president. I'm Lopez. What is this? A cringy mood? Ethan asked, puzzled. Liam jumped in before I could reply. These people have called her sterile and fat, so Emma and I ran to assist her. You heard that, huh? I said gently. Liam and Emma must have heard Michael and Leah's epithets. That is why Liam had been so unburdened in what he said earlier. Michael's eyes flickered, and then he began to stutter through an explanation. No, I mean, Mr. Lopez, sir. I could never speak ill of the president's wife. Right, Leah added quickly. Why are you genuflecting to this lady's husband? Leah snapped. I'm the one who suffered. Oh, she threw items at me, threw things at me, and stole my money. I'll never forgive her. Nat, Mooch, Leah. Michael took her arm and murmured urgently, Do think before you open your mouth. Not liking us, that's it. We're finished with our subcontracting company. And the two began scuffling right in front of us. Their son, who had been silent throughout, finally interrupted. Can't we just end this already? I've been listening, and you're the worst. Talking all this shit about this lady, calling her fat and infertile and shit, shaping upside-down comebacks about her and demanding money back. It's embarrassing. And how about an affair? Am I her son in Messier, and am I not? Am I unwanted? His voice rose and broke from emotion, tears poised to pour from his eyes. Michael and Leah looked shaken. Well, it's not like that, they stammered. A few others nearby had started to take notice of the ruckus. Leah had turned red, only now noticing the staring. Still, I thought the world of their son. He was not accountable for the mistake of his parents, but he fought for the right. I was going to respond when Ethan interrupted me. Thanks for standing up for my wife, said he, patting the boy kindly on the head. You're a kind child. I chuckled and added, Well, okay, maybe I'm a little chubby. That's not true. It's not true at all, Ethan insisted. Well, I am pregnant, I whispered, placing my hand on my belly. Yes, I was carrying our third child. Then I bent down a little to the boy and talked to him. Mommy also very carefully carried you in her belly. You're not unwanted. Your mom and dad love and are proud of you, aren't they? I looked at Michael and Leah. Her son also was regarding them. His eyes were still filled with tears. Really? He asked them. Michael and Leah were nodding emphatically. Yes, of course, Michael replied. You're our pride, Leah chimed in. You mean so much to us. The boy was beaming, and I just felt so relieved when I saw that. Let's get back to our seats, I suggested quietly. Today is a day of joy. We returned to our seats, and the turple blurg blub bee ceased. The wedding did turn out well after all. Michael and Leah met us clutching their son as we proceeded to the station. Liam and Emma were blocking me. Ethan was shaking his head with a half laugh at them to stop them from trying to calm me down. "Sorry about the whole thing," Michael responded. "We are really sorry. It's a bit late, but for us it's regretful, and we apologize. Even today we regret everything. And thank you for before." It was the first time in 15 years that any of them had apologized to me. Maybe they were a little softened by becoming parents. I let out a short laugh. "Really? After all this time?" And walking, off I turned. I handed over the bag with the maternity mark to Liam as he became the pack mule. They threw their gay coat over me, Emma's. Even at such a tender age, they were already caring for me when I was carrying them. "All right, dinner tonight is going to be Dad's homemade burgers, and they're your favorite," I said. "Yay, thank you!" they both cheered. I pledged to protect the smiles of my loved family even as we walked out of the darkened halls of history.